waging. How do you keep doing it? What drives you, really?
We have this very beautiful text in India, the Gita. The Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
And there's a very simple lesson that Krishna gives, that you do not measure the fruit of your action. You have to measure your obligation for action. You have to find out what's the right thing to do. That is your duty. Whether you win or lose is not the issue. The obligation to do the right thing. For me, I've grown up as an ecologist and a nature lover from my very childhood. For me, the diversity of species, their intrinsic value, their integrity is vital. The rights of our farmers to be able to have seed, the most fundamental source of a livelihood in a poor country. 80% of the food of the world is even today produced by those small farmers of the kind that we have in India. Our small farmers are feeding 1.2 billion Indians. We forget the scale of what smallness means multiplied many times, because we've got used to the dinosaur mentality. We only see the big. We forget that dinosaurs go extinct.
Do you know that Vladimir Putin, the Russian's president, he's passed a law that any Russian who grows or sells genetically modified foods is to be considered a terrorist. He's even giving land away to Russians who will grow food organically, non-GMO. You put his name and GMO in Google app and you'll read the spiel. He says, we Russians look across at the West, over-medicated, overfed, sitting in front of boxes every night in their lounge rooms, eating food that has no nutrients, he said, and we know is weakening the West. Is he right? Absolutely right.
The price of everything keeps going up. Meanwhile, the corporations selling those things are making massive profits. The goal of the capitalist is to disconnect these two facts from one another. So they use this concept of inflation, a perfect example of vague washing because it can be blamed on anything at all, except for corporate profits, of course. The propaganda around inflation and cost of living is so powerful that we forget the very basic fact that corporations set the prices for their products. If a corporation raises its prices and then makes record profits, that's not some invisible monster, it's just a bunch of greedy shareholders. The government could choose to regulate them better, increase competition, support local small businesses, but instead, with the help of mass media, they deliberately obfuscate these basic mechanisms of our economy. And worse, blame us for our own exploitation, demanding we take pay cuts and lose our jobs. One advocate called it a form of mass gaslighting, and I think that captures it perfectly.
What GMO seeds are?
So a real seed, germ means life. I take a paddy seed, I put it into the soil, it'll give me 1,000 paddy grains. And so it multiplies, it regenerates on its own. Hybridization was the first step the companies took to say farmers shouldn't save seeds. So we'll hybridize so the next generation of seed does not breed true. There was still a plant, but it would not give good rajma, so you couldn't use it. But GMO, genetically modified seeds, they add a gene that doesn't belong to that plant. But because every organism has a tendency to reject what doesn't belong to them, they have to add viral promoters. There's 100,000 cells in the petri dish. Maybe one cell absorbed this gene, so you have to separate it from the others. So you put in antibiotic resistance markers. A GMO has antibiotic resistance, viruses. It's been done because it's linked to patenting. This is why I save seed. Because once you have a patent, you treat the seed as your property. And you treat a farmer saving seed as an intellectual property thief. In America, farmers went to a grain market and bought soybean and planted it. Monsanto sued them. Supreme Court of America has ruled even 20 years down the line, the grain from the seed is the property of Monsanto because it is a self-replicating machine that Monsanto invented.
Salt flavor into the chocolate that you wouldn't feel too disgusted if you have too much chocolate. And then I'm not too sure if it's a vanilla inner.
No.
No, okay.
No,
but it tastes like that. It tastes like that. So
goat's milk.
yes,
Yeah, and the
okay.
flakes you're biting is actually real fish meat without the fishy smell. And aftertaste of this fishy smell, and if it melts, there's
If
still
you
no
have not
fishy smell.
mentioned
Yeah,
that fish in the ingredients, I wouldn't have tasted it at all.
exactly.
It's just
And the purpose is to get real protein. Okay, that we are addressing food insecurity towards sustainability.
I mean, they contribute on the protein. So.
Yeah. So we have 6 varieties here, you know, including 2 cookies, 1 coated in chocolate, 1 without. So all addressing, giving protein to the world through this innovation.
You know what? Basically, it makes me feel less guilty munching on this rather than go and opt for
Gluten-free
regular Magnum. Yeah.
and sugar-free. And the sweetness comes from the milk.
That's where we
yes.
should head towards nowadays.
Yes.
Especially for better health.
Right.
And then, if you're not a diet fan, like we say,
Right.
you wouldn't feel guilty.
Right, that's right, that's right. That's why we always end with our presentation by saying this. You can never say no to something without a better yes. So in terms of protein, do you think PwD has a better yes?
Yes. Definite yes. Definite yes. Definite yes. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Check it out for yourself. Okay? Don't let the unfamiliarity block you. Go give it a try. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Saya memang suka benda yang pelik-pelik, yang inovasi-inovasi yang luar daripada kotak.
Really?
Ah.
Okey, tapi kalau saya, ice cream, yes, saya makan.
Ya.
Ikan tilapia, yes, saya makan. Tapi kalau ice cream berperisa ikan tilapia tu, how?
Today, you'll be tasting goat's milk as a new engine growth of this country and tilapia fish farming. With every scoop of ice cream that you put in your mouth, with every biscuit that you bite, we are helping small farmers. And this innovation is going to be championed by the disabled community. We do not want to be perceived as public goodwill. We are still fighting car park and toilets. We cannot go out to eat with our families. All we need is a plank to go up.
Dr. Billy, brilliant presentation, brilliant spirit. Don't let anyone take that away from you. In my opinion, entrepreneurship is the primary source to us solving the world's biggest problems. It's been amazing to see the diaspora and the versatility or the combinations of the differences in all of the innovations. And it's as a Malaysian, I think I'm very proud that we have such a wide spectrum of this variety. And we continue to want to propagate entrepreneurship, to bring these ideas to the fore and to push them to commercialize these ideas of theirs so they're able to take the next step in their entrepreneurship.